having won two of the majors?
Yeah, it's an event that, as an American, you grow up always wanting to win. You know, we're all very passionate about it, just as the Europeans are. We've had a really rough go at it recently, actually going back quite a while now. And a reason I'm so excited about it this year is because I feel like American golf had a fantastic season last season. And I'm excited because I think that it's off to a good start this year already as well. You know, we had a good week in Hawaii, Ricky winning last week. You know, Jason Duffner winning, who's been on those teams before. We've got a nice mix right now on where it looks like the Ryder Cup team is going to fall with young guys and with veterans. And we just feel, you know, in talking with a few of the other guys, especially the younger guys, we feel that there's more passion this year and more confidence this year, at least going in about 9 months before, than it seemed like we had maybe 2 years ago. It's going to be on our own turf. It's going to be really, really fun to play a Ryder Cup in America. I have not experienced that. And so that's a huge goal for the season. You know, there's only so much I can individually do, but you know, I need to do my part in winning enough points to, you know, hopefully make up the difference with the rest of our team and bringing that Ryder Cup back to the U.S. where we kind of felt that we should have had it 4 years ago, and hopefully this year's our year. Since arriving in the morning yesterday, I spent yesterday resting, just laying low, trying to catch up on sleep and strength and hydration from the long trips. You know, last night went for a nice dinner and just kind of got to see a little bit of what Sentosa Island has to offer around the, what's it called? The Adventure World? No, it's the...
Resorts World.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. So we were able to walk around there and check it out a bit. I'm looking forward to getting into downtown Singapore at least one night and also see more of what this island has to offer. It's pretty unique, and I've certainly heard a lot about it ahead of time. I've only heard great things about the city of Singapore, this golf course, which obviously is ranked in the top 60 in the world, which is pretty special. You know, and once Thursday starts, I don't mind heat and humidity. I'm used to it in the summers in Texas. It's a bit of a hit, I'm sure, this time of the year because we're not used to it, but that won't be a problem. Getting to know the golf course, it looks like I looked over the Artist book already. It looks like a bit of a tricky golf course, so I'm going to need to get as much information as I can. I'm sure the wind will play a factor, which direction it comes from, what clubs to hit off tees, but you know, that's sometimes the downfall in playing a couple weeks in a row where you have to travel long distances is you don't quite get the preparation or knowledge of golf courses that you normally have, and we can still go with it. God, I'd like to do what we did last year. That was nice. You know, hopefully have nice momentum going into the Masters. I played a couple weeks prior, so I'll be running in, I think, as my third event in a row, and which is normal for me there. That's what it was last year. I feel like I can hopefully put myself in contention in at least one of the prior 2 weeks in either Austin or Houston, two places that I'm very familiar with, and build some confidence as I lead into the Masters. But for now, it's about trying to build strength up, kind of maintain everything that we started at the beginning of the season, and then once we get to those couple weeks before, I'll start changing the plan physically and when I say physically, I mean in the gym, what you're doing, and practice-wise. I'll probably do a little less in the gym, more maintenance, and then more practice, and especially short game practice as I lead into the Masters and try and do the same exact plan that we had going in last year. Certainly capable of winning. They've all won. So it's an event that you get some confidence early in the week, and normally the hardest part is the start to that week, just because it's we consider it the biggest and best tournament in the world. I consider it that way. It's just personally growing up what I've thought of it. So there's those first tee nerves, you know, and you just want to get going and get started well. And so if anybody does that, they'll be able to feed that off the crowd and keep it going. So as far as singling out competitors, that's too difficult for me to do. There's so many great players that have all competed there that are going to be there this year. There aren't any plans yet, but it's very early. Typically, we don't plan for this until 6 to 9 months in advance. So
have you talked to Ricky and Bubba about Thailand at all?
I've talked to Bubba briefly. I haven't talked to Ricky. Bubba speaks very highly of Thailand, says it's just one of the most beautiful places he's ever been. So there's sure there's an interest. I wouldn't be over here now if I wasn't interested in playing around the world. And for me, it just matters on where it is in the schedule too. I mean, it's a Bubba can come over for a week in the middle of the season and go back. It doesn't affect him a whole lot. For me, when I look at these events, I look at end of the season, beginning of the season schedule in order to make these trips and kind of have a bit more time so I can just stay in rhythm on the PGA Tour the rest of the year. Both places are extremely easy for me to travel to. I mean, the hospitality is fantastic there. The golf course was great. Same here. So far, we've been here for a day and a half. It's been extremely easy. If I do it again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I'll do it. It was unlucky this year that our President's Cup was overseas. China was pushed up towards the President's Cup. Then Australia, I had won and wanted to go back there. I love Australia. It was just kind of unlucky that the spacing in the tournaments, and that's what kind of led to this crazy, 4-month adventure that we've had. It won't be that way. I mean, next year, Ryder Cup's in the States. The year after, the President's Cup's in the States. China's going to be pushed back, I think, another week. So I'm not sure what exactly will happen. This was just a unique off season, and I'm extremely excited to be here. I was very tired on Sunday from a long week there. By the time we start Thursday, I'll be ready to go for 4 full days with my best stuff this week. So you just need to be able to have that rest the first couple of days of the week, and that's what I'm doing here. Yeah, that just goes to I want to accomplish all the goals that we set out as a team, and to specifically go into those. I won't. We keep them between us as a team. The specific goals on specific tournaments, but I want to contend on the back 9 Sunday and at least a couple of the majors. That's a goal. And then when I look back in December, I want to look back at the statistics from this season and say, okay, in December of 2015, I wanted to improve this part of my game, this part of my game, this part of my game, and I wanted to maintain these other parts. And I want to be able to look back at the end of the season and say, you know what, the parts that we singled out, I worked on, I was committed to, and we did improve as a player in those categories. And then hopefully maintain the rest. The results are going to come if I maintain the parts that I think are at the top of the game, and then I can continue to improve on weaknesses that I have. And last season, even in some of my best events, I did have weaknesses. I go home. I go home for a week, and then I play in Pebble Beach and then LA back to back. So I leave for the AT&T at Pebble. I play a familiar event there, and same with LA. Both events I've played now. This would be my 4th or 5th time to each event. Yeah, my impression of Japanese players goes back to when we played the Dunlop Phoenix last season, or 2014 Dunlop Phoenix. And this quality of players that they are is fantastic, and the fact that the majority of Japanese players on the tour are kind of held within that part of the world. You got to think that so many of these young players are going to make it over to the European Tour, to the PGA Tour, and kind of play something like Lahiri does, where he plays kind of balancing a few tours and then kind of figure out what they want to do. There's just so much talent that what we saw there, what I talked with Jay who's here about, was that, wow, you know, there's really a ton of talent that's so young in Japan. And, you know, you've already seen with Rio and Hideki, their games travel, and they're able to bring it over to the States to, you know, higher strength of fields and still win and compete. And I think that that's something that a trend you'll continue to see.